Look at this.
Mes amis, bonjour à tous. On se retrouve aujourd'hui dans cette belle place qui est Movie Car Central avec notre ami Darryl qui est sur ma gauche. Donc on va vous présenter un petit peu tout le showroom de Movie Car. Donc vous allez pouvoir voir tout autour de vous qui est sublime entre les modèles, les petits modèles miniatures de Jada plus les vraies voitures derrière. Donc ça va être vraiment sublime. Et on va switcher sur de l'anglais avec notre ami Darryl. On va vous emmener un petit peu, on va discuter et ça va être quelque chose de plutôt sympa. We are back to English now.
Okay.
Darryl, let me know what's your first feeling when you came in here.
This is very impressive. I don't really see these kinds of things too often, actually quite in the States, the way that it's laid out in this way. And actually the first thing that caught my eye when I first walked in was the amount of Jada presence here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And not just vehicles, I mean, you have even the action figures in this row, right? So I'm just I'm taking it all in. It's super cool to see things on display, even if it's not specifically Jada product. I think just as a super fan of everything pop culture, it's so cool. It's so cool to see. Quite overwhelming at first, actually. But once you start to look around and identify, little things, it's very exciting. This is very, very cool.
Yeah, it's many things related to the American culture with the cereals, etc. Also figures.
Yeah.
Many things, many colors.
Yeah, food mascots have become quite a big thing, specifically for us as well.
Okay.
So it's always interesting to see. But I mean, even like things like the Iron Man glove. Like, I'm such a big Marvel fan.
Okay.
As far as like the MCU is concerned.
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. So to see, these higher end collectibles and things like that.
Yeah.
Even like Toy Story. Like I grew up with it. Watching it and seeing the characters in their packaging and kind of thinking back to, the specific scenes in the movie. It's so fun. It's so cool. Certainly, again, more Jada product right down here with our radio control and just a nice assortment of die-cast vehicles and figures on the shelf. I know I'm saying it a lot, but it's super cool.
Personally, I've never been here before.
Okay.
So for me, it's also the first time that I see all these brands, all the Jada items also, because I mean only here there is maybe 60 or 70% of the all items that from Jada.
Yeah.
So it's very impressive.
It's impressive, and the feeling that I'm getting also is just a lot of pride.
Yeah.
In terms of what we do, because to see it all laid out in this way, certainly, back home we work on it every single day, and yes, it's cool. We make cars, we make toys, we have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But arguably just as rewarding is when you step into a place like this and you see everything laid out the way that it is. Yeah.
I feel proud.
Yeah. Very, very. Brings a big smile to my face. This whole area just takes me back to my childhood.
Oh, yeah. I'm too young for this area, for this. I never played to this kind of things.
Okay.
But
no, I grew up on like Nintendo 64. It was Super Smash Brothers and all that stuff. And then as it progressed into GameCube and DS and the Wii, Super Smash Brothers has always been my game.
Yeah.
But also Pokemon. I'm a big Pokemon fan. So actually, when we walked in and I saw that up there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Little kid in me came out a little bit. But I think this is the coolest place so far because, like, especially this area and this section has so much of nostalgia, play. And for me, again, just as an enthusiast or and also collector and fan of just pop culture in general, being in this place really, really makes me feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
And it's not often that I'm around things that give me that feeling, right? So in that sense, it's very nice.
I think many people, many adult people maybe who are coming here
Yeah.
feel like a kid again. And,
Yeah. I think that's the magic of this place.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Jada Toys are making this feeling also for
I hope
certain
so.
items.
I hope so.
So, yeah.
We're adding to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Yeah. Super Mario with N64 down there. Yeah. Big Dragon Ball Z fan. I love it.
And how do you? When will you bring the Dragon Ball license into Jada or Pokemon license, or
I've been trying.
bring us something strong like
We
this?
we've been trying. There's quite a bit that goes on behind the scenes that I can't share too much about, but
Yeah, I see.
but believe me, we are absolutely trying.
Yeah, because I guess some license may be stronger to have than that
Absolutely.
someone, so that some
I-
others. So.
Yeah, I will say, so many of us at our team at Jada are just diehard fans in general.
Okay.
So I would say most of the things that a lot of people are fans of, we are also fans of, just personally.
Yeah,
So with that in mind, we also want the same thing as the fans. So we're trying.
no, it could be great. Because many people, particularly in France, are asking me every week. So when do you bring us the Pokemon, the Nissan GTR of Pikachu or something like this? And,
I would love nothing more than to do that.
or Son Goku with a Lancer Evo or something like this.
Okay,
And,
those are great suggestions. I'll keep
Yeah,
that
yeah.
in mind.
no, but
Yeah, we're always looking for new ideas and new properties and things like that to continue
Yeah.
to grow our line and things like that. And it's working. It's a work in progress. You know, we've certainly as a brand we've come a long way.
Yeah.
In terms of our licensing portfolio and a lot of the
Okay.
brands that we've worked with, and even in different categories, right? It actually wasn't even that long ago where we started doing action figures,
Okay.
and now look at where we are with
Yeah.
more properties coming, more figure development, things like that. So we're hopeful in the near future we'll be able to add quite a few more brands, and hopefully continue to scale not only the figure business but also the vehicle business.
yeah, oh, it should be great.
It's an authentic feel. It's an authentic and honest feel. It caters to the crowd and and the collectors that are fans of the franchise and things like that.
Yeah.
But also provides people a way to be able to connect with the Jada brand.
Yeah.
And then also, once they are able to have that connection to the Jada brand, maybe then they find within our portfolio, oh, we also have
Yeah, that's
this property, this property, this property, and then it becomes
That's right.
a whole thing. That's
Just
my favorite part
bigger
about
and
it.
bigger. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Wow, look at all this stuff. This is just like so throwback. I heard a funny story about this actually, that this was only in France and was pre-internet.
Yeah, it's a Minitel.
A Minitel.
It's a Minitel.
Okay.
It's like what we have it now in our pocket.
Yeah.
But
This is
it
that
was here
version
before.
of it.
And the funny part about these things, and when you wanted to do an internet research,
Right.
you had to enter a code 3615
Okay.
and the key code that you wanted to search on the internet.
Okay. Now looking at that and then seeing how much technology has progressed.
Yeah. All these.
If you didn't believe I was a pop culture fan, by the way.
Oh, okay.
My phone case is a Dragon Ball Z case, so that adds credibility to the pop culture.
I don't have mine, but I had a freezer on this one.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, see? So we're trying, absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go back to the car section,
Okay.
because I think we will stay an entire week here.
Sure. Look at this.
Um,
I thought over there was impressive. This here is like
that was just
literally
the entrance.
blowing my mind. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to look right now. There's so many things, but I guess we could just kind of go down the road.
Batmobile from
89. Yeah, 1989.
yeah, is this one with George Clooney or
Tim
Michael
Burton.
Keaton?
Tim
maybe?
Burton.
Tim Burton. Oh, okay.
And you can't miss the
The Jeep.
The Jeep, but also the big T-Rex.
Also the T-Rex.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
That's super cool. I always wonder, like, how does one person go acquiring something like this?
I really don't know. Maybe Frank could answer us.
See, this seems like something as a fan.
Yeah.
I would never think to say, hey, I want to buy I don't know if this is life size, but a big statue of a T-Rex. But this seems as if the opportunity ever presented itself to me.
Yeah.
Impulse right away, I would want to buy it.
Yeah.
But this.
And we are now in the big part with the huge car. You know, all of these, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these cars really resonate, obviously, because we have our own brand called Hollywood Rides.
Yeah, also.
The name is self-implied. It's going to be all the Hollywood vehicles. And usually when we do the Hollywood vehicles, we always pair it with a figure.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So it's always going to be a 1/24 scale entertainment car with a figure.
Yeah.
And if we're not able to do, the appropriate figure, usually we'll do some sort of accessory, like a collectible coin. We've done that before, things like that. But this is so cool. I mean, obviously very familiar with Kit from Knight Rider. Unfortunately, we don't have some of these other properties with these cars, but I can always appreciate them as a movie fanatic. It's always cool to see the Charger from Dukes of Hazzard. A-Team van.
Starsky Hutch.
Yeah.
Oh, you have also the film.
Yeah.
And John Wick.
I'm a big fan of the John Wick franchise, so this is very, very cool to see. And I learned a little bit earlier that this was actually a screen-used car.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's always super cool. I can always appreciate that kind of stuff. And it's just so wild to see it in person. Also very cool that they have the clips just playing overhead like that.
Because you can see the clip related to the cars.
Yeah.
Up on every cars. So,
yeah.
That's really amazing. And the cars are really in. I think you can here with Frank pay something to drive the car on the parking. So
that's what he was telling me. I told him, I was like, you can't be telling me that because I'm gonna want to drive every car in.
So it means that here, I don't know, maybe not Kenny Reeves, but his stuntman maybe drove this car?
Possibly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And,
but this section right here.
Oh, we may lose Darryl. We may lose Darryl.
I love this section. I mean, just as any car guy, as a kid growing up that got into cars, certainly was inspired heavily by the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
Right. And to be in the presence of these replica movie cars is always so cool. And I think it has a certain kind of charm because as you look at cars and how they're modified today, this is kind of where it all started. Right?
Of course.
So that part of it really, really hits home for me. So I can truly appreciate it in that sense. But out of all of these cars in the Fast and Furious lineup, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, this one.
The orange Supra?
This one, yeah.
That's a good one.
That's the orange Supra has always been my favorite car between all the Fast and Furious license. And even in model car. Because I don't know, the color and the shape of the car is something that it really attracts me.
Yeah.
And, she's this one is my favorite model, favorite.
Yeah, I can't blame you for that. It's very iconic, and actually, I feel like this is what put the Toyota Supra on the map as an icon for a sports car.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I would have to say though, in this lineup, there's very iconic, many iconic cars, but I gotta go. I'm a tried and true Nissan GTR.
GTR, of course.
Driven by Paul Walker himself. That would have to be my pick.
Oh, this one. The GTR is also amazing. And you were talking with Frank previously, and maybe you can explain us because I didn't hear the whole part, but he was explaining that this one is not GTR. That's right.
Right. That was the very first question that I had to ask him, was if this was a real GTR, and he sadly confirmed with me that it's not.
Okay.
It's in fact a GTT.
Okay.
Which is okay, but it's a
kit.
GTT, but it has the GTR components to it.
Okay.
Obviously, with the aftermarket kit, it's got aftermarket front and rear bumpers, but it has the wider GTR fenders and the interior and things like that. It also has the RB26 DETT motor.
Okay.
So it is also still built to look like a GTR.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I think just to be in the presence of this thing, it's just a different feeling. And again, just like being in that room where it just kind of makes me feel like a kid again, this being in the presence of not just this, but these cars here, exact same feeling. It's actually quite special.
I mean, for me, I touch these cars every day at the office, but in model car.
Yeah.
By the Jada Toys items.
Yeah.
And to be here with the real cars today, it's something I don't know how to explain.
It's different.
But,
it's different. This is like I mean, obviously what the products are inspired off of, but it's kind of like meeting your hero type thing, right? Like
of course.
It's something that's it's an intangible feeling, but again, just brings like the biggest smile to your face and kind of reminds you, the kind of work that we do and things like that. And truly how much joy and fun we have in doing what we do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe you have the same feeling as me, but I feel like the Fast and Furious license is going really, really far away now than what it was from the Fast and Furious 1, 2, 3 and 4. And I mean, the movies are not really aimed on cars and tuning and race cars as it was before. I'm a bit sad of that. I think
a lot of Fast and Furious, true diehard Fast and Furious fans, and I think car enthusiasts as well, we all feel the same way.
Yeah.
But I've heard a little rumor, I don't know, I was just surfing the internet. Supposedly the next movie, they're supposed to push it back towards making it about the cars. That's what I saw. Obviously I'm crossing my fingers that is the case. But if it is going to be that way, then obviously I think that would be super cool, because to be able to bring the franchise back to its roots, back to the audience, that really supports it from day one, I think would be super, super rewarding. And again, just how cool would it be to see cars like this again, especially in an era now where I feel like retro and nostalgia is such a big thing. Yeah, they can bring that back to the franchise in the next movie. I think that would be, for me personally, that would be the coolest thing. A lot of these cars are actually purpose built for real life, which I think is kind of cool. Yeah, right. Of course. Not the same can't be said for a lot of movie cars in the industry. But for example, as we kind of make our way down this row, I have to say my second favorite car in this lineup has to be that off-road Charger from Furious 7. So this one actually was going, it flew, or it jumped out of the, they dropped it out of the airplane and they had the parachute.
Oh, this one. Here.
That one, yeah. So actually, fun story about this one. The original builder of these movie cars is actually not that far away from us in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And so we had the pleasure, at the time when this movie was about to get released, we met with him.
Okay.
We went to his shop. His name is Dennis McCarthy. We went to his shop and he gave us the full tour and explanation about this vehicle in particular. And you can see, compared to the Ice Charger from 8, that one just kind of has like put on, like bolted on fenders. It just kind of looks like it's slapped together.
Yeah.
Whereas this off-road Charger is actually full replacement panels. So it looks a little bit more custom, right? But I think the coolest part about it is when we were talking to him, he's a big car enthusiast as well. He loves to enjoy cars that actually work and drive. So he built it specifically for that purpose. And that matter of fact, he built this to be able to race it in the Baja 1000.
Okay.
So it can actually do the off-road Baja style runs and things like that. For me as an enthusiast, when I hear that, when I see that, and then I see that the car is all done up and it's dirty and it's actually used and it can perform, that's the coolest thing about it. So I think it's a fine compromise where, sure, as the movies and the franchise has progressed towards becoming more of an action oriented kind of movie, the cars are still very much capable and stars in their own way.
Yeah,
just a little bit different.
Just in a different way.
Yeah. So that's a fine line, but in that sense, again, I do hope that they include more tuner cars in the future, but we'll see. At the end of the day, Vin Diesel's still in the iconic Charger, and as long as we have that, it's Fast and Furious.
Yeah, no Magnum Ferraris.
I can't believe that there's just a Testarossa just sitting here so casually.
Personally, the first time that I'm this close of a Ferrari, also. So
really, first time?
Yeah, first time.
Oh, you gotta come out to California.
Yeah, invite me.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely invited.
Oh yeah. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Every weekend you'll see one.
Wow. In shows or something like this? Or?
Shows, events, or you just drive around town, you see them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This one is funny. This has a little bit of a personal feeling for me.
Whoa,
because
why?
As I was growing up, my dad was a big James Bond fan.
Okay.
And I remember going to the movies with him to watch this movie specifically, Quantum of Solace.
Okay.
And
the first with Daniel Craig as James Bond.
Yeah. This car specifically, at the time, I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was a cool car.
Okay.
And I think, don't quote me, I don't remember, but shortly after the movie, my dad actually bought himself an Aston. So it wasn't this one. I believe this one's the DBS. I could be wrong. But he ended up getting a DB9 at the time. And obviously was heavily inspired by this movie.
Yeah.
So for a little bit of my, I want to say like teenage years or whatever, had this car in the family. And it was all inspired by that movie, actually.
Oh, amazing.
And that's how I got my introduction to Aston Martin.
Yeah.
And then I started going through the history of Aston and been following them now with a lot of their newer developments and newer vehicles and things like that. So
you're a huge fan of Aston Martin cars.
Yeah. They're very elegant. They're very classy. And I think as far as somebody that's looking for a car that's not as, let's say, loud as Ferrari and Lamborghini. Aston is the gentleman's car.
Yeah, the British class.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah,
even if this one doesn't have the minigun on the.
No, that's a shame. But as it is, it's good. And you know what? For the model year and things like that, it still looks great, considering that we're in 2024. I think it just kind of has like this timeless elegance to it.
Pierce Brosnan one.
Yeah.
Z4 and the Mystery Machine on the James Bond also.
Yeah. What's to say about this? I grew up with Scooby-Doo also. So always cool to see the Mystery Machine in person. So iconic.
Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, we as Jada, we're doing the Mystery Machine now too. So yeah. So, coming soon.
I hope. Catch it.
Yeah.
The Men in Black one also.
Yeah.
And this one should be on the Jada brands also.
It should. Would make a good candidate. This is just so impressive. I mean, being in this room, being around the actual movie cars.
Yeah.
and then just having the product be literally a wall away, and you're able to make that connection. This is just so so cool to me. Like literally everywhere I look, I'm like, it's such a recognizable car. I mean, completely just glossed over the fact that there's also Transformer cars here.
Yeah.
Like, I remember as a kid watching the classic Transformers, you know, G1 shows and whatnot, and then when it went into the films in movie theaters with Michael Bay,
Yeah.
right? At the time I thought it was really cool, and then as I got older, I was like, it's kind of cheesy, but you know what? It's
No, there's still
It's
something
still
with
cool.
the Transformers movie. I still like them, but
yeah. I
it's
mean,
like
look at this.
a guilty
This-
pleasure.
So cool. It's got the patina over it.
This one is from the first Transformers movie, I guess.
Yeah, with
Because on
Shia
this-
LaBeouf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because on the second one, the Camaro is
More the classic or like modern. Yeah. No, I love it. Got the disco ball in there. Everybody remembers that scene. Barricade right next to it. Totally glossed over the fact that there's also a time machine right
Yeah.
there. I mean, like literally, there's so many things in here. It's just kind of mind blowing, but really quite cool.
I don't know if you already heard about the Taxis film in France
No.
from Luc Besson. You have 5 movies,
Okay.
and the movies are called Taxi,
Uh huh.
and it's from a guy who is a really a big car addict,
Okay.
and he's working as a taxi in
Okay.
the city of Marseille,
Okay.
and he's taking his Peugeot 406, like this one,
Yeah.
and he make huge body kits on it.
Yeah.
He upgrade his engine as he make the car faster than a train and something like this.
Okay.
And it's a very cool movie.
Yeah.
So if you have the opportunity to watch them, it should be something that you could like.
Tell you what, I have a long flight back home,
Okay.
so
If you find them on the plane, maybe you can.
yeah.
I don't know where this one come from, but Renault also from Balle perdue. I don't know this one.
I
Yeah,
can
also-
appreciate it though. It's really unique.
It's really strange because I see the car without his body kits.
Yeah.
It's a very old French car,
Yeah.
and it doesn't look really like this. So the car is really ugly without this kind of body
Look,
kits. But this one,
Modifications
Yeah.
always make a car look better.
yeah,
If it didn't, then I don't think it'd be doing its job. But I think that's the best part about being a car guy and a car enthusiast is
yeah,
you can always change the way that a car looks and kind of make it to your taste and things like that. So
this is something that you already had in mind when you bought your car, that you wanted to upgrade it, to do some
Always.
modification on it, or
always.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
always looking at modifications for the car before I even have the car.
Okay, so you're buying the car with the idea of the modification you
Yeah.
can do on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
As
That's
a true car enthusiast, I think that's what we do. Yeah.
Okay.
I think about it sometimes even for cars that I don't have or maybe don't even have intention on buying.
Yeah. Okay.
Just sometimes I think like, what would I do to this car if I had it? And then I just kind of
okay.
think about it that way. Yeah, have fun with it.
Ah.
It helps a lot that we're all fans of this stuff and that we're car enthusiasts and things like that because we
Okay.
see it, we look at it from
Yeah.
a different perspective than I think some other toy companies would.
Yeah.
So I think that's the special thing about Jada, is the level of attention to detail that we put behind a lot of the product that we make.
Yeah.
And to see it, see all of this, pretty much what it's all based off of, is the coolest thing to me. Oh yes, this thing. Ecto
so,
1.
When we arrived,
Yeah.
We arrived by here,
Uh-huh.
and this is the first car that we saw.
Okay.
And in our minds, the car was not this long.
Person?
Look at me
Yes, it's a very long.
next to the car.
Yeah, it's a very long
It's like
car.
10 of Coco, you see?
Yeah.
10 of me here, here.
Yeah.
And I just have the question, like, how do you drive this kind of car in the streets? I mean, US streets are maybe larger than here, but
Nah, you figure out a way. Absolutely. We have some pretty long cars in the U.S. also.
okay.
Yeah, and we could do it.
So this one looked pretty average to you.
No, for sure this is not average.
Okay.
This is absolutely longer.
Okay.
But if you give me the keys to any car, I will figure out a way to drive it.
Yeah.
We have this car in our product range as well.
Yeah. And you also made a collab between
Yes.
Ghostbuster and Transformers.
Yep.
So the Ghostbuster, the Ecto one with the
Optimus Prime.
the color shape of Optimus Prime, and
Yep.
Optimus Prime with the color of Ecto one. How did this project came into alive?
That's a good question. One for our product development team. But as I understand it, it's just a conversation with Hasbro to see if we can do what we call internally a mashup.
Yeah.
And they gave the okay to do it. We presented some concepts to them, and they really enjoyed it. And so
Ok.
that's kind of how it happened.
Messieurs, dames, merci de nous avoir suivis. J'espère que ce petit room tour avec Darryl de Jada vous a plu. Et en tout cas, n'hésitez pas à nous suivre de tous les côtés sur le TikTok, l'Insta, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Jada Toys France. Tout est disponible. Merci messieurs, dames. À bientôt.